Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Gabby and today we are going to be choosing our September TBR. I honestly cannot even believe that September is already here. We're finally getting into fall weather, so I'm so excited. I think we're going to be a little bit fantasy heavy for this month, hopefully, because fantasy is just totally a fall vibe. Last month, I read 4 of the 6 books on my monthly TBR. And honestly, I feel like that was a good number for me to have kind of a wide enough range to choose from while still being realistic that I could get through them all. So I think we're going to go with 6 again. And we are going to be using the prompt wheel on my trusty iPad here. I have a few in mind that I truly want to read this month. So we're gonna hope this goes in my favor. And let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel on my iPad now. Been on the TBR the longest. That would probably be these books down here, have been on here a pretty long time. Okay, I think the book that I want to choose for this prompt is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This has been on my TBR for probably like 3 years because everyone's raved about it. They've always said it's like the perfect fall dark academia vibe. So I think this one will be a really good one atmospherically, and it's been on my TBR for super long that I think it'll feel really nice to finally just check it off the list. So I'm excited for this one. It says, enter the players. There were 7 of us then, 7 bright young things with wide, precious futures ahead of us. Until that year, we saw no farther than the books in front of our faces. On the day Oliver Marks is released from jail, the man who put him there is waiting at the door. Detective Colborne wants to know the truth, and after 10 years, Oliver is finally ready to tell it. A decade ago, Oliver is one of the 7 young Shakespearean actors at Delacare Classical Conservatory, a place of keen ambition and fierce competition. In this secluded world of firelight and leather-bound books, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off: hero, villain, tyrant, temptress, extra. But in their 4th and final year, good-natured rivalries turn ugly, and on opening night, real violence invades the students' world of make-believe. In the morning, the 4th years find themselves facing their very own tragedy and their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police, each other, and themselves that they are innocent. So very academia-focused, while still having kind of a murder plot, it seems. Really bringing in that dark to the dark academia. I think this is going to be perfect to read in September. I cannot wait. Okay, let's spin again. I'm a little nervous. Multiple POVs. Okay. I'm definitely gonna need a second to kind of go through some things and really find one that's multiple POV. That actually took no time at all. Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Everyone and their mother talks about this book. I believe this is also set at a school, so I think it'll be really like heavy on the vibes. Everyone raves about it. I actually am really excited to pick this one up. Oh my gosh. It says, he wants to save her. She wants to hide. She's damaged. He's determined. Fate brought them together. Love binds them. Johnny Kavanaugh has everything going for him. On the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with, even plagued with a hidden injury. Everyone knows he's heading straight for the top, but that means there's no room for mistakes or distractions. Not even the shy new girl at Toman College, the one with the sad eyes and concealed bruises. He needs to stay focused to keep his cool and not let anything get in the way of the bigger picture. Except before he knows it, this lonely girl has become his only picture. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. Bullied and tortured, she arrives at Toman College midway through the school year, praying for a fresh start and desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. But when she meets the notorious Johnny Kavanaugh on his first day, her plans to keep a low profile are at serious risk. As they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry, hidden pain and complicated secrets threaten to be their undoing. But Johnny won't give up on Shannon, no matter what it might cost them both. Does a romance book need to be like almost 600 pages? Probably not. I love the inside too. I think that's so cute. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I think this is a perfect edition for this month. I like that already we kind of have a mix of the romance and then the dark academia. Now I'm hoping for some fantasy. Let's do our 3rd spin for our September TBR. Goodreads chooses. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I actually got this idea from, I believe, Ellen Catherine. Basically how she did it was she just scrolled through her feed on Goodreads until one came up that was on her physical TBR. So I guess that's like kind of how I'm gonna do it. I think that's what makes the most sense. So I am on Goodreads on my iPad, and we're gonna just kind of scroll through. Okay, that was easy. This is, I don't know if you can see, but someone recently read and rated Throne of Glass. Let's go! This was the one book that I was really rooting to read this month because I actually have already read the first 4 or 5, and I want to do a reread, start from scratch, start all over again. Oh my god, I could not even explain how excited I am to pick this up again. So in this book, we follow an assassin who has been selected by the king to be the king's champion. So she is released from prison. She's very confused when she comes out, and she realizes that it's actually a challenge. And she was handpicked by the prince to come and participate for a challenge against other prisoners and other assassins to actually become the king's champion. That's all I'm gonna say. There's so much more. This is a fantasy. Oh my god. This one really was just the icing on the cake for me. Okay, already we are doing so well. I am so happy with this TBR so far. But we still have 3 more books to choose, so let's move on and choose our 4th book. Cartoon cover. I like that because that kind of gives us a chance to throw in another romance. I think I kind of already know what I want to pick. I don't know if this is a cartoon though, technically, which makes it kind of difficult. So the ones that I'm thinking about the most are Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt and You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I don't know if that's kind of cartoon-ish. I don't know. I would say that's cartoon. Am I reaching? Maybe, but also this is my TBR, so I think I can do what I want. And I think I'm going to pick You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I've heard kind of mixed reviews about this, but I mean, look at that cover. Like, that's gotta just be fall vibes. It says, when Ari and Josh first meet, the wrong kind of sparks fly. They hate each other instantly. A free-spirited, struggling comedian, Ari likes to keep things casual and never sleeps over after hooking up. Josh, a born and bred New Yorker, has ambitious plans to take the culinary world by storm and find the one. They have absolutely nothing in common, except that they happen to be sleeping with the same woman. Ari and Josh never expect their paths to cross again, but years later, as they're both reeling from ego-bruising breakups, a chance encounter leads to a surprising connection, friendship. Turns out, spending time with your former nemesis is fun when you're too sad to hate each other and too sad for hate sex. As friends without benefits, they find comfort in late-night Netflix binges, swiping through each other's online dating profiles, and bickering across boroughs. Until one night, the unspoken boundaries of their platonic relationship begin to blur. With sharp observation and sizzling chemistry, You Again explores the dynamic of courted friendship in this irresistible romantic comedy of modern love in all its forms. I don't know if that really sounds that great to me. I'm not a huge fan of friends to lovers. And enemies to friends to lovers, I feel like you can't, like, enemies to lovers in general is hard in a romance. I don't know, I'm pretty intrigued. I've seen a lot of people say that it's very fall vibes, and I might be wrong on this, but I think it goes through a few seasons. So I think this one will be a good one to pick up. Okay, we already have 4 books on our September TBR, meaning we only have 2 more. There are 2 that I'm really, really hoping for, so I'm praying I can make them work somehow. Let's see what we get. Recent release. Oh my gosh, I already know. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, this whole thing is just working out perfectly in my favor right now. Okay, for recent release, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. All I know about this is that we follow lesbian vampires. Enough said. Everyone has been raving about this book, and I think it just came out in August. So, recent enough. And the perfect kind of spooky vibe. I'm really excited for this. And I actually love V.E. Schwab's writing. I got a signed edition from my Barnes. So I think that's cute and cool. Oh, the graphics in this are pretty. Those are cute. I think this is going to be the perfect kind of gothic vibe that I'm really going for this September, clearly. Okay, I still do have a few books that I'm really hoping for. I have an array of books. I think most of them are fantasy though that I'm hoping for, but regardless, I need to remember that I can read books that aren't on my monthly TBR because girl, this is not the end all be all, but I think the monthly TBR is a good way to really motivate me to pick out of a smaller stack, which I think is so helpful for me at least, because I get so overwhelmed looking at all these books and being like, what should I read? What should I read? Should I pick up this one, this one? At least when I have my monthly TBR, I can be like, okay, just pick from this short list. It's time for our final spin on the TBR wheel. Under 300 pages, that's a pretty good one. I feel like that kind of gives us the opportunity to throw in a romance, which I can appreciate. This is literally 310 pages. I do have a few that are very, very short. This one is 125 pages. I think this one is 150. Don't hate me, but I think we're actually going to spin again because I can't find any book that's really calling out to me. I know this is kind of cheating, but this is my video and I can do whatever I want. So everything that I'm like, oh, this could be good, this could be good, this could be good, is just over 300 pages. Does this look like a 400-page book to you? Like, I didn't think it would be, and then it's like 430 pages. So nothing is really fitting right now, and I don't know, nothing is calling to me. So I think we're gonna spin again, even though that's kind of cheating. But it's okay, because the goal with these videos is to be realistic about what I will read and motivating myself to read. If I'm really like, oh, I just want to pick up something short right now, okay, then I have those. But I want to be realistic in what I'll want to read this month. As of right now, I think those just aren't it. So we're gonna move on and we're gonna spin again. Okay, so now our true and final spin for our September TBR. An author I've never read. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Ugh, I have a lot of choices here. Gosh. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I like need a minute. I'm thinking maybe this one. I've heard everyone rave about this. Some people are calling it like their new favorite fantasy series. So this could be a good one. I also got Heavenly Bodies. I picked this up the other day. I'm really interested in this one. My only thing is I'm like, do I want to start a whole new series? Oh my gosh, my little Ewok, he fell down. We have Olive E. Blake. I've never read an Olive E. Blake book. I feel like that could be really good. I feel like maybe we should choose an author that has kind of multiple books already out so that I can kind of test and see if I like that author rather than someone who maybe doesn't have a whole big backlist. So here are the three that I'm mainly thinking about. The first one is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Everyone loves this book. Everyone loves Brandon Sanderson, and I've never read a book by him. So I think this will be a really good one to start off with and really get into his writing and see how I like it. It is a hefty book. That's huge. Honestly, I don't know if you can tell, but everyone raves about it. So I don't know. This could be a pretty good contender. We also have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I love this edition. This edition is so pretty. And I believe this duology is complete, and then she just released a new book that people have been talking about. I've seen it on my radar a little bit, so I'd really like to see what her writing style is like. I do have a friend that absolutely raves about this duology, and the chapters look pretty short. The book itself seems pretty short, so this could also be a contender considering we have some pretty hefty books already. And then the final book that I'm thinking of is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I've never read a book by her. I haven't read Fourth Wing. I know. I've gotten like 25% into it, and I was kind of in a book slump at the time, so I just never ended up picking it back up. But I did like what I was reading. This is also hefty, but this is also one that I've really been wanting to start, and I feel like this could really motivate me putting it on my monthly TBR. Of course, they're all fantasy because basically every romance on my shelf is by an author I've already read. I think I'm going to choose One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I have heard so many good things about this. It says, Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom she calls home. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure the kingdom of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the Destriers, and guilty of high treason. He and Elspeth have until solstice to gather 12 Providence cards, the keys to the cure. But as the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. Plus, this is a duology, so I don't have to like read a whole series. It's just a simple 2 books. It's actually pretty short. I think because this is a special edition, the hardback makes it look so much bigger, but it's like just about 400 pages, and they're pretty like spaced out, if you can tell. A nice fantasy that isn't too big. I honestly am beyond happy with my selections for this month. I think September is going to be a really good reading month. You know, I just have this feeling. So just a quick recap. We have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, You Again by Kate Goldbeck, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and then finally One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I feel like we have a pretty nice array of like romance, fantasy, and then the little dark academia going on, which is going to be kind of nice. And here is our September stack. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get into these. It's going to be so exciting. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below what books you plan to read in September, and I'll see you next time.